Welcome back. This is Dr. Collins on behalf of the Advanced Orthogonal Institute, and today we're in the axial view. By way of introduction, we've hit the sagittal view, we've hit the frontal view, we've even hit aberrant condyles, and now we are in the axial view. So my goal is to get through these different views in terms of analysis and then maybe move on to table placement. We'll see. You guys can let me know. But the axial view. Again, this is one of those where it's easy to kind of overlook it. You're breezing quick. It doesn't seem as interesting as a frontal view, but I'm telling you, this one has huge implications for how your patient gets adjusted. And when I say that, what am I talking about, right? Well, the height that you set the instrument head up on is greatly influenced by the measurement of the axial circle, the C over A. So the condylar circle. And again, frontal film analysis, check out that video for more information on that. But then the measurement of the axial circle from this axial view is going to give you the tools to determine that C over A measurement, which is what determines primarily the height that you're adjusting somebody on. So if you're sloppy with how you took this film, or you're in a rush, or you're not accurately measuring the axial circle, you could be butchering the height that you're adjusting somebody on. And if you're not getting patients clearing out and holding their adjustment, this may be something to look at. So check it out. If we zoom in here, I'll give you kind of the traditional, when you come to a seminar, how we all learn it, and then sort of my workflow. But you start that axial circle measurement with icing on the cake, frosting on the cake. That's what Dr. Pierce would say. But you're going to find that lateral margin of the superior surface. I'm just kind of doing these with the freehand tool. And then about a 1/4 inch medial from that. I don't know where that dot went. Hang tight. We'll stretch it out a little bit. But just kissing the surface, like they say, frosting on the cake. Because this is going to be what you run your axial circle tool through. Doing this like a boomer. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so then you would throw your AO axial circle template tool on it. Right? And now in my workflow, am I dropping dots? No. I'm looking at that 1/4 inch on the lateral margins and throwing my circle through it. So, but that's the zone you want to be looking at. You don't want to be up in here looking at the C2 surface, right? Lateral margin, 1/4 inch right in there. All right, so I guess I'll show you that. All right, so you would drop your tool through those lines. You want to find the corresponding axial circle to those dots, right? So we'll say 4 probably is. Yeah. So like for this patient, 4.25. I think I'd measured her to 4.5 the other way. But we'll say just with our dots, we're probably in that 4.45. So question mark, say 4.25. For anybody who's not used to the PAC software. But here's where it gets interesting. Okay? So let's say she's 4.25. Or like I said, I think I already measured her at 4.5 without the dots the other day. But in our seminars, right, in the boot camp, if you come to the boot camp, which you should come to a boot camp, plug. One of the slides that I'll never forget is where you have this C2 body shape. They carved out a few different x-rays, this C2. And you watch how this C2 shape evolves with different S lines that you took it at. So historically, you're taking the axial circle off of what? The nasium, the frontal, right? In orthogonal work. You're taking it off of here. But here's the problem. Is the George's line of a C2 body is often way shallower or even slightly negative compared to the ASP. That's a huge disparity. I want to measure the axial circle from a C2 that's captured on the plane that it sits on. I know this seems common sense, but this is kind of a unique thing within AdvO, right? If I'm taking the axial circle off of that frontal film S line, I can almost guarantee you it's going to be much rounder. And here's the problem. You can have 1-2 circle difference one versus the other. I've measured hers, and hers weren't crazy different. I think she was like a half or maybe even 1 circle max different. But even me saying that, that's ridiculous, right? If you're off by half a circle or a quarter of a circle or a whole circle, that's going to impact how this person gets adjusted, and I'm going to show you what I mean. If you've never done it, throw in some different axial circle measurements. Yeah, she's at least a half circle rounder on her frontal film. So check this out. Let's say I've got her here on a 4.5, okay? Well, on this tool I just measured, I'm measuring 3.5 on the nasium. So look at what happens. Right now I've got her listing, right? I'm setting that instrument up at 13.66 degrees relative to patient position. And that's a whole other conversation within AdvO. I'm not just setting it up to 13.66. Where is she at? And then I'm going to subtract that from the height, which we'll do that in a separate video. But within AdvO, she's getting adjusted at 13. She is getting adjusted at 13.66 with the current C over A. But let's say I took her axial surface off of the nasium or frontal film. You go from 13.66 to what? 1 circle different. 1 circle different just took the half the height and also changed the rotation. More than doubled or close to doubled the rotation. That's huge. That's a huge difference. 1 circle. So you need to make sure that you are accurately measuring this person's axial circle if you want to adjust them accurately. So other than that, your axial view is going to function as a secondary reference for your frontal film, which watch the frontal film video if you want all the dots and all the information. But in terms of locating your C2 spinous process, it's really nice having that open mouth that's clean to look at, and also for measuring the lateral margins of the C7 body. You know, it's really nice having less in the way so you can cross-reference for your frontal film. But even though this is basically a one measurement film, you know, you're taking one measurement off of this. Listen, this is huge. This film is basically going to be what determines their height to a great degree. So I want to encourage everybody out there. Listen, if some of your patients are, I'd say everybody, if your patients are having trouble holding, you're not getting good corrections, or you want to make them better, consider taking your axial circle measurements off of a axial or open mouth view that was taken at it's not an S line, but the line associated with a George's off of the C2 body. And you may find you're getting much better corrections with that extra 5 or 10 degrees that you're going to have on their height, potentially. But by way of shameless plug, when's the last time you've been to a boot camp, if ever? If you're an existing doctor that does AdvO or you do AO and you're really curious, you want to get involved with our group and at least see what we have to offer and how it's a little bit different, hopefully these videos are piquing your interest. But consider coming to a boot camp. You got June 24th through the 28th where you're going to walk out of there a different doctor. You know, if it's been a while since you've been to a boot camp or you've never been to one, you don't know anything about AdvO, you're going to walk out of there ready to go. And you're going to have some solid tools that are going to help you get patients holding in a procedure that's A to Z, where there's answers for those tough questions. But consider it, June 24th to the 28th. In terms of price, you got students, $997. Doctors, the chiropractic $1,895 special versus I think the conversation was around $3,000. But we're doing effectively a discount right now, $1,895. And again, 4 days of absolute just, you are going to walk out of there a stud. And really priceless what you're going to be able to offer your patients at the end of that. So hope to see you at the next boot camp. And listen, if you have questions about this analysis, you know, you want more in depth than just this quick video, throw a comment. I can answer it. We can get some docs tagged. We can start a conversation. But I hope these are interesting for you. I hope they pique your interest, or maybe they give you a refresher if it's been a while since you've really thought about it. We get in that workflow. But, you know, let me know. We'll get through these analysis tutorials, and then maybe, like I said, let me know if you guys want to do more patient setup or interviews with docs, AdvO docs about complex cases or, you know, whatever. But again, thank you for watching this. Hope it helps. Have a great day.